Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hey everyone, checking in on Canadian MJ. Just going to stick to the big names for today. Lots to do. So CGC, CRON, APH, ACB, TLRY. Today was a shift in momentum. It was very clear at the end of the day. We saw a lot of profit taking comparative to previous days where we saw strength and then continuation into the following morning. So we are looking for temporary consolidation now. We're looking for our temporary tops to be set on most names, and we're going to look for a healthy pullback and for a daily higher low to form. Last time we saw bearish reversal candlesticks on the daily time frame, we pretty much saw one day of consolidation and then continuation. I do believe that unless some additional news comes out, that we're going to see more than just one day of consolidation at this point, keeping in mind that we are not seeing an all-out dump or a race to the exit at this point. The bulls are still sticking around, and one thing that's going to distinguish individual names from themselves are the hourly time frames. Who is still in an hourly uptrend and who has lost the hourly uptrend. Those can distinguish them into more bullish and more bearish. We're also going to be watching for shorts to start putting out some articles. So what shorts do is they load up on days like today, and then they put out articles to try and instill some fear into the general public and the herd. And so I would not be surprised. I made a half joke today in the chat room where I just said, I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see articles now about the possibility of why Canada might block the Constellation deal. And I was just, speaking tongue-in-cheek, but I've seen shorts do much worse than that. So keep an eye out for articles. Keep an eye out for the sentiment change. Here at the end of the day on Fidelity, I just got a little news alert that said Bitcoin just like, or I should say pot stocks just like Bitcoin in terms of how they're exploding to new highs. And I do believe that association obviously is going to bring a lot of negative memories for a lot of people. But the bottom line is, know your game plan and stick to it, and don't let these articles sway you from your game plan. But keep in mind that there are shorts very clearly in positions now, and they like to do things to try and make themselves make money. So CGC on the hourly time frame, equilibrium. As soon as we saw the low of the day and the size of the bounce from there, it looked like an equilibrium was very likely to occur. We obviously saw significant gap up opens on individual names today, CRON and TLRY stealing the pre-market show, and it's a very clear setup going into tomorrow. This is pretty much going to tell us, was this just brief consolidation and the bulls still got it, or is daily consolidation coming? And I'm looking at the high, low, lower high, and a higher low, and we are looking at the range right now, 45.59 to 47.59. Break 47.59 and an all-time high test is likely coming. Break 45.59 and a low of today test is coming, and daily consolidation is very likely coming. So we're going to be watching for pre-market action as well. We've seen consistent trends, consistent patterns, I should say, in the last 5-6 days. And the patterns have been 5-minute oversold RSI, bulls buy the dip aggressively. Pre-market, bulls are strong, we see higher opens. The first day that we see a lower open pre-market is going to be very notable, I should say, when the bell rings after pre-market trading. So on the 5-minute end of the day here, we had a very clear bear break where heading into the end of the day, I said if 46.89 breaks, that's the level to be watching at the end of the day because we had a bit of an equilibrium pattern here as well. So high, low, lower, high, clear bear break, all out dump. 5-minute RSI got more oversold than we have seen on the majority of this run-up. We did get more oversold one other time here, back when we were under $40. But other than that, we had multiple dips that were bought right at 30. This one dipped down to about 25 or so. So it did get more extended. The bulls did buy that dip, but we are fading a little bit after hours. So it's going to be very interesting tomorrow. A lot of people have opened up short positions and put positions, and that's a great way to hedge. Grab some puts and keep your long position if that's your game plan. But we are watching a shift in momentum, a slight change in the way things have occurred in the recent past, and we're watching to see, does this mean daily consolidation is coming? CRON on the daily time frame, huge gap up. We are so overextended, but we hit all-time highs. Big upper wick of profit taking. This is a bearish reversal or a spinning top. No, bearish reversal shooting star. I'm not one to get stingy over names. When you see a big upper wick, it's very clearly profit taking, but it's a shooting star if you want to be by the book. And first thing I do when I see a bearish reversal candlestick on a time frame is I zoom into the shorter term time frame and look for the details. Do we still have hourly higher lows? 1495, 1496. So just like we have a clear pattern on CGC hourly, we have a very clear pattern on CRON hourly. And you better believe that people are going to take their profits and shorts are going to jump in if this double low breaks because there's no support until the gap fill at 1315. So we definitely saw really quick profit taking at the end of the day. We dumped very quickly from 1615 and we saw a 7+% pullback in under an hour. So again, the faster we go up, the faster we can pull back. And that's what we saw a little bit here at the end of the day. All about 1495 tomorrow on CRON. APH, clear bearish reversal candlestick on the daily, volume climax, a lot of profit taking mixed in there. So we go to the hourly time frame and we lost the higher low. APH dumped the hardest out of any individual name that I was watching out of the major players at the end of the day. And again, gap fill now, lack of support. As soon as we broke 1523, we flushed because the next support is 1414. So here it was on the 5-minute time frame, absolute dump. Look at the volume on that candlestick. And aside from the first candlestick and the second candlestick of the day, that's the highest volume and it's all dumping and profit taking. We did see a very solid end of the day bounce. There was a nice 5% bounce to get in there, but the momentum has shifted. That's the most significant pullback that we've seen on this bull move. So for APH on any bounce, anything under 1633 is a lower high. And again, we have our sights on the gap fill now at 1414. ACB, bearish reversal candlestick, not as weak as everybody else, but it is a doji. So we go to the hourly, we still have the higher lows. So I'm looking at supports. If we see a break of 899, the odds we see daily consolidation increase. And if we break 883, that will confirm it. There's a gap to fill at 865 after that. So clear levels on the hourly time frame. That's the most important time frame that I'd be watching on all of these names. And TLRY, absolutely absurd run. And Citron took their profit on Friday, missed out on a huge 30% day. Volume climax, big upper wick of profit taking, hourly time frame. So we didn't consolidate at all today on the hourly chart. So we're just now establishing an hourly support level. So it's not the same setup as everybody else that we've looked at so far. Support right now is 50.61, and then we're looking down at the low of the day of 45.45. And the name like TLRY, due to the lack of price history because it's a recent IPO, and due to how hard we ran, is probably going to see the biggest percentage pullback. And we have earnings approaching as well. Someone in the chat room made a good point that the bearish narrative, the bearish articles that these shorts want to put out to see the price drop could time with TLRY earnings tomorrow. So if we get those earnings, obviously, the price right now of these stocks is forward looking. But shorts are going to put out this article and say, this is a $4 billion market cap company, and these are their numbers, and it's extremely overvalued. So it's potential that bearish narrative could be a talking point for these shorts. Keep an eye out for it. You'll notice a shift in the articles and the headlines and things like that. So at this point, we're going to get a ton of information tomorrow. We're going to see how much volume is on this pullback. Whenever someone asks me, where can we expect a higher low to form? On a run like this where we don't have a ton of clear support levels, volume is the most important thing for me. If we see high bear volume, I'm going to look for more of a pullback. If we see low bear volume, I'm going to say it's healthy consolidation. We're going to look for a clear higher low and potential for continuation. So volume tomorrow is the number one thing I'm looking for, along with those hourly higher lows and watching to see if those levels do break. So we'll see how it plays out tomorrow. It's certainly interesting and it's certainly fun. Again, congrats to the bulls. And ideally taking a little bit of profit that you can reload and even just practice. Let's say I have a long position of $10,000, even just taking profit on 10% of that, and to get a little bit of practice, get used to, not, do what you want. I do what works for me. Other traders do what works for them. Everybody has different styles. I hope you all have a good night, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. Watch that pre-market for any kind of clues.